So, part 2.3 of my cancer journey. So basically, Bata Farina wanted to see me in person, and that was on Thursday, and we drove down Thursday to see him and Dr. Lamb. So I already went through all that. So basically, Bata Farina was going through explaining everything, the surgery and stuff, and the different options. And he explained what the problem was, and basically that I'm an oddity, and I think he was very interested in the case. But he didn't get my PET scans at the time, and he really needed to see my PET scans to make sure he'd be able to do the surgery. And there's still things that are very dependent on the PET scans, and I have to get a second round of them after the chemo rounds are done, to see where at least the lymph node on the left side is, for sure, and how far maybe, the actual tumor possibly shrunk, who knows. So PET scans going to be able to at least maybe show something. But after meeting with Bata Farina, he explained, he could do the left side, but he would have to do it as a separate surgery. So it would basically be two surgeries not done together. They would be split apart by probably 2 weeks because I would need time to heal. Now, Bata Farina does everything hands-on. So he does it open. He goes in, does it, and whether or not he has another doctor help him, I don't know. I don't remember him saying. I just know he does the surgeries, and they're the ones with the 2% leak rate, which is one of the best. I don't know what the leak rate is for Lehigh Valley. However, that being said, I had an appointment with Dr. Chan because of the whole tumor board up here and the lengthy time that they discussed my case, because apparently it's such an interesting case and I'm such an oddity. Yay, me, keep on going. You're just adding things to the list here. They wanted to bring in Dr. Chang, who also does the thoracic surgery, which he could do the esophectomy, but the point of bringing him in was the pulmonary piece, was the lymph node in the artery between the aorta and the pulmonary in my chest. So I met with him last week. He is a really nice gentleman. I really like him. He does all his surgeries robotically. So he's robotic assisted. He could do the aorta. My thought was, if I would decide to go with Lehigh Valley, I would use him for both surgeries. However, I found out he wouldn't be doing both. It would be assisted on the esophagus, and it would be Dr. Blackham with him. So you need like 2 people with the robotic. And I don't know if that's the same case with oh boy, got a kitty throwing up. I don't know if that's the same case with the lymph node in the pulmonary area. So, Ashy, you poor baby. All right, I'll clean it up. So that's one of the questions that I will need to go back and ask. But I did explain to Chang that I did go through and have a second opinion. They did see the notes and information in there, from Johns Hopkins. So they do know, I was going back and forth, and I said I did speak with a surgeon and stuff. And I said, the problem is I'm very undecided at this point. I don't know which way I want to go. One's open, one's robotic. There's pros and cons, in this whole equation. So he's, Dr. Chang was really sweet about it. He said, whoever you go with, I won't be offended. It won't, hurt my feelings if you would go with John Hopkins. Just all we ask is whoever you decide to go with, if it's not us, let us know so that we don't keep, monitoring your case when we're not the ones who are going to be doing it. And he said, if you wait to the very end, that's fine. Then you wait to the very end. He said, it's your choice. It's your body. Oh, it was perfect. So I wrote a message back to John Hopkins, to find out where they are with that. And what I found out was Dr. Badafarino is waiting for the treatment to go through. So all of the treatment and the next round of PET scans to be done. And I think that's when he'll decide what his decision is. And from that point will be my final decision, whether I go with him or I go with Lehigh Valley. I mean, I still like the robotic side of things because it is a little bit better. But I don't know what the leak rate is. So I think it's a matter of maybe trying to talk to Dr. Chan and see, and maybe if I can find out, because that is part of my decision as well. I want to feel comfortable. So those are the things that I've been tossing around at this point. So I haven't made any kind of decision at all. And, it's not an easy decision to make. It really isn't, because there's so many factors with it. And you want to make sure you come out of it. You want to make sure they get the cancer. You want to make sure you're okay. You want to make sure, it's like a 6 to 10 hour procedure. There's so many things going through your head and fears and all kinds of fucking shit. It's insane. Although I think your head sort of makes up some crazy ideas, but, at least I know mine does. You should see the dreams I have. So I just want to make sure I make the right decision and I don't regret the choice that I make. Yeah, I could go with John Hopkins right away just because I have a 2%. But it's a bigger incision. It's a bigger scar. It's a bigger scar inside. And then when the healing's done, then the other side, again, a little bit bigger scars. It affects your breathing. You're disrupting things. So those are little things to think about, your quality of life, basically. Where do you put that at? How do you value that? Do you value it? I value mine. Fuck, I do. So, those are the little things that I keep thinking about. And I keep playing back and forth in my head. Robotic or him, I need time yet to really figure things out where I am. So, but at this point, that's pretty much, I think, everything in a nutshell up into this point. Tomorrow, or technically today, I go for my second round of chemo. And this is just straight chemo. No immuno. Immuno will be next round. So, we'll see how this goes. Because my port has been healed pretty good, but I get a numbing cream that I get to put on it to make it, less when they put the needle in and stuff, so, and get me all hooked up. But anything else, I'm done. So, but I'll be back in another video, as usual. All right.